Histories are not always written in ink. Sometimes they are carved in schemes and whispered in glances. In recap, Martial God Asura chapter 956, the Eastern Sea's grand Misty Peak bears witness to a spectacle both resplendent and perilous. The so-called wedding unfolds atop a floating spirit formation, every tier thrumming with the presence of kings, monsters, and ancient powers. Murong Mingtian watches with a smile that hides the gears of vengeance turning behind his eyes, while the notorious Jiang Qisha parades Zi Ling before an unsuspecting crowd. Beneath the red silk and ceremonial drums, a trap pulses with deadly intent. For one wrong move will ignite chaos, and even the strongest may not escape unscathed. As the drums echo, the air thickens with tension, and all who gaze upon the scene cannot help but wonder, who will truly survive the day's pretense of celebration? Legends speak of moments when the air itself trembles with anticipation, when even the heavens seem to pause and watch. Today, Misty Peak would witness one such moment. And yet, beneath the glittering banners and ceremonial drums, a storm of power, deception, and vengeance quietly stirred. Murong Mingtian faltered, words caught in his throat. He had seen many warriors, many cultivators, yet Zi Ling, though bearing the famed divine body, had never fully unleashed her might due to the suppressive grip of the heaven-gripping pellet. True power, the kind that splits mountains and commands the wind, remained unseen. What he now faced was a potential beyond ordinary comprehension. There is a reason Tantai Shui is whispered of as a witch. Jiang Qisha's voice carried an ominous weight, each syllable as heavy as iron. A breakthrough like hers does not come in increments. She wields more than a divine body. She possesses a force that defies reason. Murong Mingtian swallowed hard, the gravity in Jiang Qisha's gaze rooting him to the spot. He had never seen such solemnity, a seriousness that brooked no argument. "When she arrives tomorrow, you shall face her first," Jiang Qisha commanded. "Test her strength, but do not call upon the talismanic pellets unless she is wounded. Only then will we strike in unison." Murong Mingtian's eyes flickered, uncertainty gnawing at him. "Wounded? Are you certain she will falter?" Jiang Qisha's lips curved into a smile sharp and confident. "Ho, I never act without assurance. That witch Tantai Shui is formidable even after her breakthrough, yet when she comes, she will die." With that, he strode away, leaving a trail of foreboding in his wake. Murong Mingtian, silent until now, finally broke the tension. "Ancestor, do you think these pellets are truly safe?" Murong Mingtian shook his head slowly. If Jiang Qisha wished me harm, he would have done it already. There would be no need for such elaborate preparation. "But, Ancestor, these talismanic pellets are priceless. To give them freely, is that not unusual?" Murong Mingtian's brow furrowed, worry and suspicion mingling in his voice. "Normally, yes," Murong Mingtian mused, a shadow of a smirk tugging at his lips. "But now, it is no longer a matter of willing or not. I am a necessary piece in his game. Ho, he desires me to test that witch's strength. How clever of him. If she is as powerful as he fears, then my death is assured." Fury glimmered in his eyes, a spark of righteous indignation lighting the depths of his gaze. "That Jiang Qisha? He has manipulated us from the start. Ancestor, how much longer must we endure this?" Murong Mingtian's voice trembled with anger. Murong Mingtian's smirk widened, a glint of calculated resolve shining through. "Tomorrow he will see. Murong Mingtian is no pawn to be trifled with." "Ancestor, have you succeeded?" Mingtian's tone carried hope, almost disbelief, a slow nod. But why not strike now? Why wait until tomorrow?" Murong Mingtian pressed, curiosity and concern mingling. Murong Mingtian's gaze hardened, eyes cold and sharp as a sword's edge. "Shuner suffers because Jiang Qisha dares to wed Zi Ling. That is undeniable, but vengeance is not always immediate. Tantai Shui is our foe as well. Should she come to rescue Zi Ling, her path will lead her through Jiang Qisha and through us. Why eliminate one danger while leaving another unchecked? No, we will use Jiang Qisha to remove Tantai Shui first, then deal with him afterward? Disgrace? Ho? When I end Jiang Qisha tomorrow before all of Eastern Sea, the disgrace will be his alone." Joy and admiration flooded Murong Mingtian's features. "Ancestor, you are truly brilliant." And so, beneath a veneer of celebration, the stage was set for peril. Dawn had just brushed the eastern sky, and Misty Peak swarmed with anticipation. Yet the ceremony could not fit within the peak itself. Outside, A vast floating spirit formation shimmered, stretching wide enough to hold over 100 million souls. Its purpose was simple: to bear the spectacle of power, wealth, and subtle treachery. The wedding had commenced. Guests from across regions, even from the distant immortal execution archipelago, gathered. The formation itself resembled a stairway to the heavens, with the highest platform reserved for the mightiest. Here, Murong Mingtian and Murong Mingtian, alongside the chiefs of the three great monstrous clans, sat in silent dominion. Only they were worthy of this vantage. The first immortal himself could claim only the second tier. Whispers rippled among the crowd. Is that Murong Mingtian? The true architect behind the immortal execution archipelago? The one who turned insignificance into supremacy over the Eastern Sea? He allowed himself a small, measured smile. The admiration, the awe, it fed him. Standing tall, his voice rang out, formal and commanding, each word followed by thundering applause. No one dared defy centuries of reputation and power. Next, let us welcome the stars of today's ceremony. His gaze swept the Misty Peak, sharp and intent. At that moment, a roar of firecrackers split the air, gongs and drums resonating like the heartbeat of a dragon. A figure in festive red led a procession through the sky, guiding a resplendent red sedan chair. The rider ahead, mounted on a flying steed, was Jiang Qisha. Within the chair, the figure was unmistakable: Zi Ling. Breath caught, hearts stilled, all eyes fixed on the pair. The wedding, meticulously arranged and dazzling to behold, had truly begun. But the air vibrated with the knowledge that beyond the color and fanfare, destiny, battle, and retribution loomed like a coiling serpent, waiting to strike. Legends speak of geniuses who appear once in a millennium, figures so formidable that the world seems to pause in awe at their presence. Tonight, in the grand banquet hall of the Eastern Sea region, such a legend had arrived. The air trembled with whispers, and all eyes were drawn to a single figure whose aura alone silenced conversations. Jiang Qisha! The prodigy from the holy land of martialism. Jiang Qisha! Voices shouted in reverent astonishment. Even the elders, who had walked the lands of countless sects, could not mask their disbelief. At his tender age, he had already achieved the rank of martial king, and not merely rank 1, but the feared and revered rank 4. Comparisons with Murong Shun or Chu Feng were meaningless. This young man had leapt leagues ahead, leaving all others far behind. In every corner of the hall, murmurs of admiration and envy intertwined. Eyes sparkled with awe and desire. Young women pressed their hands to their chests, hearts pounding at the mere thought of such a man. They imagined themselves in the sedan, sharing his gaze, sharing his destiny. Even men could not hide their respect, for in this world, power dictated all. Strength was the sole currency, the only truth, the unwavering law by which lives were measured. Amidst the sea of acclaim, Jiang Qisha's lips curved into a faint smile. But it was not a smile of warmth. It was the smile of one who sees the world below him as trivial, a smile of disdain and quiet amusement. In his eyes, the assembly was no more than a crowd of ignorant bumpkins, feeble cultivators dreaming beyond their capacity. Ascending to the dais, Jiang Qisha ignored the customary pleasantries. Instead, his voice rang through the hall, clear and commanding. "Do you know Chu Feng?" he asked, eyes sweeping the audience. "We do," came the immediate reply, echoing from every corner. "And Zi Ling?" he continued, tone measured yet provocative. The crowd answered again in unison. "We do." Then, a sharp, unexpected question pierced the air. "Do you know that Chu Feng and Zi Ling are lovers? A pair bound by affection?" Gasps filled the hall. Many had heard of the couple. The invitation from the immortal execution archipelago had not failed to inform. Yet now, standing before them, Jiang Qisha seemed to twist the tale, revealing intentions no one anticipated. A faint, mocking smile traced his lips. This is the truth, and yet his eyes gleamed with a dangerous light. No bond in this world can stop me. Zi Ling will be mine. I will marry her. And Chu Feng, he will be powerless to resist. A laughter followed, wild and unrestrained, carrying through the hall like the roar of a tempest. The atmosphere of celebration, the joy of a marriage, it all shattered instantly. Guests exchanged uneasy glances, unable to reconcile this proclamation with the occasion. Jiang Qisha's voice dropped to a dark, resonant tone, carrying the weight of ruthless ambition. Why Zi Ling? Her beauty? Indeed, she is unmatched. None have ever compared. But beauty alone is fleeting. It is power I desire. Within her lies the heaven-gripping pellet, sealing a divine power that will awaken fully at 20, transferred to the one who unites with her. That power will be mine. His words twisted the very essence of the woman's reputation. He spoke of her as though she were an object, a vessel for power and desire. A hush fell over the crowd, the earlier excitement replaced by disbelief and revulsion. What becomes of her after I claim this power? Jiang Qisha's laughter rolled like distant thunder. She will be nothing but a shell, unable to cultivate, her beauty useless but for desire. And yet, his voice sharpened with cruel amusement. So what of that? Strength is all. Power is all. Silence reigned. Even the elders felt the chill of his audacity, the sheer force of his conviction. Murong Mingtian's thoughts raced. Has Jiang Qisha gone mad? Why proclaim such things at a day of celebration? He shames us all for having honored him. But Murong Mingtian, calm and calculating, observed the scene with measured patience. A madman, yes, but one who knows the limits of his power. Let him speak. There is surely a game behind his words. Jiang Qisha's eyes swept over the hall again, and a sudden question sliced through the tense silence. Does no one dare call me out? Does no one see that I am evil? That I am without kindness? A voice erupted from the crowd, sharp and indignant. You and your mother are scum. You do not deserve Zi Ling. Begone from the eastern sea region. In an instant, the hall erupted in chaos. But before a single further word could pass, Jiang Qisha moved. His palm struck with a force that shattered the very space around it. The old man, resolute in his defiance, was annihilated in a crimson explosion, leaving nothing but a pool of blood. Silence returned, heavier and more oppressive than before. No one dared speak. Eyes lowered, hearts pounding, for the man who stood before them was no mere mortal. He was a tempest, a whirlwind of genius, arrogance, and deadly martial prowess. Any thought of defiance had been extinguished by the sheer terror of his might. Tonight, the Eastern Sea region witnessed not only a genius, but a madman whose desires and power cast a shadow darker than any storm. And in the hearts of all who saw him, one thought burned. None could stand against Jiang Qisha when his mind and might were set on a path of conquest and domination.